Lindenwood head coach Jed Stugart. His team is coming off a 24-10 loss at Charleston Southern. You have a bye week before closing out the season with three association games. Coach, some thoughts on your team, and we'll get some questions.
Well, we got back. Had a tough loss. This past weekend at Charleston Southern. Give them a lot of credit for they played a good game, and so give them a lot of credit. This is it's a tough year. There's a lot of things that we feel like there's a lot of learning that's going on, and a lot of this is um, you know, some years you have uh, face a lot of different types of adversity. Every year you face adversity, but there's just different types. I mean, it's from the first thing we had to overcome, and I try to tell our kids all the time, we say you can only control the controllables, and started off with we had to win our first battle, and that was just overcoming Allegiant Airlines. And can we beat that situation? We had a 9-hour delay. Couldn't get our first plane that diverted because of mechanical issues. So we had to find a plane, couldn't find a plane. We finally got to Charleston, around 1 a.m. On Saturday morning. So, you have to face that adversity first of just travel and getting there, just on things that you can't control. And I tell our guys all the time, that's not an excuse. These things happen. You've got to be able to get your mind and mentally correct and right. For the most part, I think they handled that pretty well. And we were a little sluggish to start the game, but that's kind of been a little bit of our issue all year, and then we'll get like a big play and momentum, and then we can start to get going. So, the only time we've really started fast was against Tennessee Tech, and we returned to kickoff for a touchdown, start the game, and ended up having a shutout win because we started off fast, had energy the whole game, and good things happened. Well, we did the reverse last week. Started off slow with a penalty, backed us up on a kick return, and now we were backed up, but right now our team is in a situation where a lot of young guys are getting the opportunity to step up and play. I think we knew in this transition and moving up to Division I, we're going to have some of those growing pains and things like that, and depth is really kind of an issue with us for a couple of years as we're starting to recruit at this level, and we're just really depleted injury wise. So great opportunity for young guys. We lost our starting quarterback for the season, Cole, last week. Carter Davis made his first start Saturday, actually did a lot of good things, but as a first time starting quarterback, young guy, made some had made some mistakes in the first quarter that everybody makes. It's just a little bit more highlighted when it's quarterback situation. And so we moved the ball, but then we'd have a turnover to stall a drive, we'd have a penalty to stall a drive, and then our defense really held up for the majority of that game, trying to get and so lost to we had another. Anytime we had a really, really bad leg injury in that game, it's our team, waiting 20 minutes to get him off the field. And Anthony is better. He's back, had surgery Monday. But again, I think the lessons are we're just trying to get our guys to understand that these can't be excuses as to why, we don't execute in times that we need to execute. Adversity happens on every team. Travel issues happen on every team. Major injuries happen on every team. Backups are playing in situations on every team. We can't just pat ourselves on the back and say, "Well, give it a good old-fashioned try." We're really, and that's where we've got to get to in these next 3 games. We got a bye week to heal up. The problem is the bye week's not gonna bring back several of our guys that are done for the year, but it's given us time to really try to get some of our young guys a little bit more ready to go. So, and a lot of true freshmen that have wanted opportunities to play, and they are kind of within their redshirt rule of 4 games, that they get their opportunity to step up and play, kind of see kind of how our recruiting's going with our first Division I class that we recruited.
Okay, Coach, you talked a little bit about the adversity, but having an opportunity to see your team play a little bit this year as well as last year, there's always fight, and you guys made a nice little comeback, got close, but there was still fight all the way to the end. Can you talk a little bit about kind of the atmosphere that you have there with your program?
That is one bright spot for us that is why I'm really highly optimistic about our team, about our program, and even how the challenge of finishing out these three. I mean, our kids do fight. They don't quit. They don't turn on each other. I think sometimes, and I'll be honest with you. I've had, I've been very fortunate. We have been very fortunate to we haven't really been a part of losing seasons very often. I mean, this right now, meaning the records, more losses than wins, and so a lot of us sitting around the table, we've got to figure out how you manage your team through these types of things. We knew that when we made this move coming up. Hey, we know we were the first ones to know. Fans get excited, administrations get excited. Hey, we're Division I. You have to set out a clear direction for your team. We've laid out, and I think part of the reason why our guys understand why they fight and why they, is saying, hey, we're the underdog in every game that we play this year. That's just the way it is. And you can't paint a picture that's not realistic, or they will. Expectations will fold quickly. So our guys know exactly what week in and week out has to be. You can't. The thing with this schedule, you can't look out ahead and go, oh, we got a couple easy ones coming up. No, they're all hard. And we wouldn't want it any other way, So that's one thing you can build on that foundation of a team that fights and doesn't quit. But at the end of the day, it's still not the X's and O's, it's the Jimmies and Joes, So we got to get guys prepared and ready to go and get them ready to go here in a couple of weeks.
Okay. Can you kind of talk a little bit about you very rarely at times talk about special teams, but you had the special team player of the week with Patrick Turner. Can you just kind of talk about his performance?
Just really consistent, really accurate, consistent player. One thing we give credit to Coach Baldwin, our special teams coordinator. I mean, we practice, you play like you practice. And that's one thing we emphasize a lot is flipping fields and trying to pin people back in those situations. And so, so we emphasize that a ton in practice. We positionally, and I think one thing about Patty is he's very accurate. He's very coachable, and he's, the stage doesn't really, it's really his first year kicking. He's from Australia, rolled in here, first year kicking at this level, and nothing phases him. So, pressure, things like that. He played Australian rules football, tough guy, mentally tough, and just really very, very proud of him because he helped us out a lot when we were struggling offensively, putting that many balls inside the 10-yard line, flipping the field like he did, really helped our defense a lot while we were kind of working through our offensive woes a little bit.
Okay. Obviously, you have the off week. It gives you a little bit of time to, like you said, get a little bit rested, but also get prepared for coming in to take on Tennessee State and playing in Nissan Stadium. Is there any benefit to your team to know that they get to play in a stadium like that? And what are some of the things that you guys try to do to get yourselves ready to take on a TSU program?
Well, I think those are all part of the experience too. I think that is a cool thing for our players to be able to go play in different settings around the country. And, one thing about when we moved into the OVC is, we knew the first 2 years we're going to be playing a lot of people for the first time. And we're kind of used to that. This is another team we've never faced. So, week in and week out, we're playing people for the first time. And so our guys are used to that. And I think they're used to the playing in different stadiums. This will be a fun experience. Guys see it on TV. They get a chance to go play at Nissan Stadium. Trying to have fun, celebrate those types of things. But, we have to prepare our guys for the stage. Also, we've had games where early on in the season where we didn't handle the environment that well. That comes with a young team sometimes, that they get caught up in a lot of stuff. They've done better with that. And, this will be another fun opportunity against a really good football team. Like I said, we'll get a week to heal up a little bit, get out, recruit a little bit, take advantage of that. I think the last time I've been a part of a bye week was, I think, in 2011. So we haven't had a lot of experiences with bye weeks. So, but we definitely need it right now, no doubt.
Okay. Well, Coach, we appreciate your time today. We hope that next week's travel is a lot easier than this past week's travel. But wish you the best luck and enjoy the off week.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. It was we're banking on you can't have too many in a row like that, right? So I'm banking on a good travel situation.